Speak about how that makes you feel, about how you've just taken the world by storm.
Yeah, I really feel like I'm still kind of in a dream, in a real world. I mean, it's kind of crazy, obviously. Those are the players I kind of grew up watching. Obviously, Steph Curry's kind of changed the game, and he's a player I grew up loving. I still love. I watch him all the time. So it's kind of crazy seeing all those NBA players, WNBA players tweet about you, talk.
If you thought Stephen Curry was just going to sit quietly while the WNBA kept treating Caitlin Clark like the league's personal tackling dummy, think again. This isn't a mellow three-point shooting Steph today. Nope. This is a Steph who's had enough, who's tossing metaphorical mouthguards and dropping verbal threes from the parking lot straight at the WNBA offices.
I'm sick of watching Caitlin getting attacked. If the league doesn't step up and protect her, things are going to get ugly real fast.
Because at this point, Caitlin Clark's been targeted so much, she might as well have a bullseye printed on her jersey. She sells out arenas, doubles TV ratings, drags the league into mainstream sports talk. But what's her reward? Constant elbows to the ribs, shoves in the back, and a rulebook apparently written in invisible ink whenever she's fouled. And the league? Crickets. Complete radio silence. Like they think ignoring this will make it go away. But it's not going away.
She's having those injuries because they're slamming her ass into the court every time she runs down there. I mean, she's getting really rough fouled a lot. You're going to get a lot of injuries if you're getting slammed.
Thanks to Steph Curry, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and basically the NBA Avengers assembling, this story's about to blow up harder than one of Steph's heat check quarters. Let's rewind for a second. Steph has been a Caitlin Clark fan since the beginning. From the minute she was draining logo threes in Iowa, Curry was in the background nodding like, yeah, that's my kind of chaos.
Her range, her three-point shooting overall, her flair for testing her range every night and knowing that the other team's going to try to take it away. And she's fearless. No shot is a bad shot, and when you can shoot it as well as she can.
Steph Curry has praised her shooting form, her court vision, her ability to turn defenders into background props on highlight reels. But lately, Steph's praise has shifted from, wow, she's great, to, okay, seriously, enough of this nonsense. And by nonsense, we mean the WNBA allowing her to get hacked like a piñata at a kid's birthday party.
You can get poked in the eye, but this was not an accident. These are people going after her, sticking their fingers in her eyes, shoving her to the ground, blindsiding her, knocking her down. And clearly, these are players jealous of Clark's success.
Steph Curry's message is simple. Protect Caitlin Clark or deal with the consequences. And by consequences, we're talking scorched earth public relations. The kind that makes sponsors nervous, journalists smell blood, and the league scrambles for their "we totally support our players" statements. And it's not just Steph chiming in. Several NBA players have come out in support of Caitlin Clark, and they aren't too happy with the WNBA's treatment of their biggest star.
In your guys' opinion, do you feel like Caitlin Clark gets kind of targeted at some of these games, or it's just basketball?
Yeah, she get targeted just like Jordan got targeted.
It's a privilege. You're the best player.
The Jordan rules.
Tyrese Halliburton himself is calling Caitlin one of the top 5 most famous players in basketball right now. And this is coming from a guy who actually hangs out with her, so he knows the pressure she's under. He even admitted she's a close friend, which is adorable, but also makes the WNBA look worse. Because if your star's own friends are openly worried about how she's treated, maybe it's time to rethink your just let them play strategy.
We're friends, and I think that that's a cool part. If she wants to talk basketball, we'll talk basketball. If not, I'm totally fine with that as well. But I think we've grown a pretty cool friendship alongside Connor. And it's been really cool to see her growth this last year. And
LeBron James, yes, that LeBron, threw in his 2 cents, praising Clark for boosting women's basketball viewership and even linking her influence to big league changes like the WNBA finally getting charter flights. Think about that. A rookie player joins the league and suddenly everyone's traveling in style. That's called instant impact, folks.
The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane for the first time in their league history. You know, they flew private. That should be celebrated in its own right.
Paul George gave her props, but also noted there's veteran resentment bubbling under the surface. And you know what? He's right. Some WNBA vets are clearly salty that Caitlin Clark is getting perks they never had. But here's the thing. She's also doing things they never did, selling out NBA arenas, setting ratings records, making casual sports fans actually care about the league. If that's jealousy fuel, well, maybe aim it at your own front office instead of her.
You gotta put it in perspective, right? These girls have been grinding to grow the game of basketball in the WNBA. They've been grinding to grow the sport to the world, the viewerships. They've been grinding for all of this. And then you have this girl that comes along from college and is an instant change. She's handed pretty much being the face of the league. There's going to be girls that are offended by that. And there's going to be girls that think she's got to earn it and she doesn't deserve.
These aren't just passing compliments. They're full-throated endorsements from the most powerful figures in men's basketball, all essentially saying the same thing. The WNBA is blowing it with Clark. And what makes this intervention so extraordinary is how rarely NBA stars weigh in on WNBA affairs. They've typically operated in separate orbits, with the men's league offering polite applause for the women's game from a respectful distance. But Clark's situation has broken down those barriers.
It's a privilege too, though. It's a privilege, though. It's a privilege to be in a position where others are hating on you. And when others are hating on you, that means you're doing something right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, for sure.
And Luka Doncic? Luka named Clark his favorite women's player. Luka, the guy who drops triple doubles in his sleep, is out here telling the world he watches Caitlin Clark highlights. That's not just respect, that's admiration.
Who's your favorite women's basketball player?
Caitlin Clark.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like Paige Buchers?
Well, she's okay. I didn't see her playing the women's NBAs.
When Luka Doncic names Clark as his favorite women's player, or Trae Young challenges her to a three-point contest, they're not just praising her game, they're sending a message to the WNBA veterans trying to bully her out of the spotlight. We see what you're doing, and it's pathetic.
It's a woman, Steph Curry. She can shoot it better than me.
The irony here is thicker than a Charles Barkley punchline. For years, WNBA players begged for more recognition, better pay, and charter flights. Now along comes Clark, who delivers all that and more through sheer star power, and instead of gratitude, she gets elbows to the ribs and silence from the league office. Paul George nailed it when he pointed out the veteran resentment. Players who fought for years to grow the game can't stomach that a rookie achieved in months what they couldn't in decades.
You can get poked in the eye, but this was not an accident. These are people going after her, sticking their fingers in her eyes, shoving her to the ground, blindsiding her, knocking her down. And clearly, these are players jealous of Clark's success and fame, and they have been playing dirty since the minute she joined the league.
The bigger picture here is impossible to ignore. NBA stars are rallying behind Caitlin faster than the WNBA is willing to defend her. That's insane. When your league's image is being rescued by players from an entirely different league, you've got a branding problem.
Look, to this day, I don't understand why people hate the best thing that ever happened to the WNBA. I said it, man. Caitlin Clark is the best thing to ever happen to the WNBA. All right, it's as simple as that, man. And it's like, I get it, you can not like her game, but to not like her as a person, I don't know what she has done at all to piss people off, to say I don't like her as a person, to call her white bread, to call her all these other...
Steph Curry's stance isn't just about one player, it's about the kind of product the WNBA wants to put on the floor. If your most marketable star is limping through games because officials refuse to blow the whistle, you're basically telling fans, yeah, we'd rather keep the old guard happy than protect the future of the league.
Fast. Yeah, Caitlin's amazing. Super amazing. She's a great player. Having her be courtside and watching our games is awesome. We see the excitement that she has on the side, but just like she's doing that, we do the same. Like when they're playing.
The most damning part of all this, it took NBA players to say what the WNBA's own stars refuse to acknowledge. Where are the veteran WNBA players calling for fair treatment? Where's the players' union speaking up about workplace safety? The silence from Clark's peers speaks volumes about the petty jealousies poisoning what should be women's basketball's golden era.
And yet, since she's joined the league as a rookie, she's been abused. She's been abused over and over again by these other players, and reportedly it's a race thing that Many black women inside the WNBA are resentful that this white woman came in and is getting all this attention. Nobody disputes that she's an amazing basketball player, but still they seem resentful and angry toward her.
But people are finally speaking out. And guess what? Curry's intervention changes everything. When the greatest shooter of all time says enough is enough, people listen. When LeBron James credits Clark with transforming the league's economics, sponsors take notice. And when an entire generation of NBA stars rallies around one WNBA player, it creates a PR nightmare the league can't spin its way out of.
There's been a lot of talk about Caitlin Clark being an amazing shooter and just someone we're watching. Have you spoken to her? Do you know her? What do you think?
I mean, I've been watching from afar and understanding just how much of a power she is out there on the court. The cool part is the way that she plays and her range and the level of difficulty on her shots is obviously a very close comparison to the way that
The way Steph sees it, the WNBA's in the middle of a fast break. Clark's the point guard, the lane's wide open. And instead of letting her finish the play, the refs keep tripping her. And somehow, everyone's acting like that's fine. It's not fine. And Curry's making sure the whole sports world knows it. He's not just defending her skill set, though let's be honest, her deep-range shooting probably makes him feel like he's looking in a basketball mirror. He's defending her right to play the game without fearing for her safety every time she crosses half court.
For anyone that's, in sports that's flown commercial or flown, charter, that should be celebrated. And it's because of Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted. Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
And here's where the irony kicks in. Imagine if this happened in the NBA. Imagine Steph Curry himself being shoved, elbowed, and blindsided every game without a single whistle. Do you think Adam Silver would shrug and say, well, that's just physical basketball? Please. They'd have a task force, a press conference, and a 20-page memo sent to every ref in the league by halftime. But because it's Caitlin Clark in the WNBA, apparently, the rules are optional.
It's not just the sport, it's the entertainment of the sport, and you need to protect your superstars. And the WNBA has not done well this entire season of protecting their one superstar who brought in more eyeballs than anyone else has ever done in the league.
The irony is almost too much. The WNBA is desperate for more eyes, more fans, more relevance. They finally got it thanks to Clark. And instead of protecting her, they're letting her become a human punching bag. And now the NBA's biggest stars are calling them out for it, which is both hilarious and embarrassing.
There's a very small number of men and women that actually get to live out their dream of playing a professional sport. And we have grown-ass men and women out here doing whatever they can to try to make sure that does not happen. That is the weirdest thing in the world, but it is what it is, and I'm glad that Caitlin has a great head on her shoulder.
Curry's message is crystal clear. Enough is enough. Protect Caitlin Clark or keep getting dragged by the very people you wish would endorse your league. Because here's the thing, Steph doesn't need the WNBA. The NBA doesn't need the WNBA, but the WNBA desperately needs the goodwill, attention, and credibility that comes from having NBA icons defend them.
Get better refs and stop letting people get away with BS. It's not a quality basketball game. It's not a quality product. And take notes from the NBA. What the NBA did elevated the product. Let these women score more. Let them put points up and stop these BS cheap shots. And the superstars.
In the meantime, Caitlin Clark keeps doing what she does, dropping dimes, hitting logo threes, and pretending she didn't just get shoved into another dimension on that last possession. But now, she's got backup, not just from her teammates, not just from her fans, but from the best shooter in NBA history, the biggest star in basketball, and a growing list of NBA names who aren't afraid to say what WNBA leadership won't.